Welcome to our executive interview series at the Elastic Public Sector Summit produced by FedScoop. I'm Wyatt Cash, and we're here with Dr. David Markowitz, Chief Data and Analytics Officer and Deputy CIO for the U.S. Army. David, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
First question I'd like to start with is talk about some of the key challenges that your organization is facing now and in terms of transforming large data sets into actionable insights.
Yeah, so no, it's a great question. Big Army, and we have big data. We've been on a journey for about 5 years in our Army data plan. And the Army's big, and we've got different areas of maturity. You can almost think of it three areas. Those who are very mature, think of for us our cyber warriors, intel specialists. And they've got the ability to look across their space, their data, and make it a condensed, useful data products to share with other areas, both within for their own work and to help with others. Our next group is, I'd say, those who are in the process of more maturing up the maturity model, where they have lots of different forms of data possibly repeating, and they're a period to find out what's really the best. Just a few days ago, we were looking about all the different applications of finance data in the Army, and like what should be actionable by Army Contracting Command versus what is being presented to leadership, what's being done for local commands to use. So they've got one visibility across the different views of finance. And then our area that's probably the youngest are those still trying to collect the data that they still need to do their work. So they're in the gathering phase. And across this kind of range, it's different sets. What we found is very useful for all of them is to have a common place to work and a place to share experiences and have a larger community of building expertise. And for us, that's been focused on data platforms. We've got 6 within the Army, which we have made available, and they're providing a user experience. Now, some are a bit more fit for purpose. Some communities are still a little siloed, but part of our job is to kind of break down those silos across the Army so that people can share their knowledge, share their approach, so that experts in the data can provide, curate it, collect it, and then provide it to the rest of the Army to meet the Army's needs.
And then speaking of data platforms, can you talk a little bit about what role data platforms actually play in combating cyber threats, particularly, and protecting also critical infrastructure?
Yeah, so it's an important piece, and this is part of our journey. We started within the Army with identifying 6 major data platforms to do our data work. They were both, some within OSD, some within the Army, but we promised a safe experience for those who may not be the experts in cybersecurity to do data ingest, transform, do their data analytics, and maybe report on activities, do an entire workflow within a data platform. Been very successful. What we found is that needs to be augmented in providing other forms, and Mr. Garcia, the Army CIO, this is a major initiative for him, is to get other platforms to do the entire workflow. So if we need to augment data engineering, data analytics, data transformation with a simple workflow agent, like a web app implication, a handheld version, or a handheld toolkit, so people can develop software very rapidly, low code, no code, or it is cyber secure to do this work. It's in an accredited platform with known boundaries where we can get a larger section of the Army doing work. An example would be when we look at our data products and look at the folks who are actually doing data analytics and producing value from these decisions. 80% of the work is done by our soldiers and our civilians, only 20% by contracts or lead integrators. We want to do that same type of transformation on the low code, no code for workflow processing. So if we think of a major software acquisition, we may be able to decompose it to a data side where a data platform is available, a work set that could be done on low code, no code, and then maybe the core software engineering that's needed for a specialty application so we can move faster and more productively across the Army and really get more of the workforce engaged to work at speed.
Well, terrific. Well, Dr. David Markowitz, thank you for taking a few minutes to share some of your perspectives on data platforms here with us at the Elastic Public Sector Summit.
Thank you for having me.